The Grand Egyptian Museum, Egypt's monumental cultural landmark, opens near the Giza pyramids as a celebration of millennia of heritage, combining modern architecture with world-class exhibition. GYM embodies the nation's commitment to preserving ancient civilization, offering visitors an unparalleled glimpse into Egypt's history, artistry, and global cultural significance. The Grand Egyptian Museum near the Giza pyramids is a historic landmark showcasing Egypt's heritage. Laid in 2002 with first artifacts moved in 2018 and construction completed in 2021, GYM houses tens of thousands of treasures, including Tutankhamun's artifacts, offering a world-class cultural experience and celebrating Egypt's ancient civilization. The Grand Egyptian Museum gained global recognition through an international architectural competition under UNESCO. Its design, inspired by sun rays and resembling a fourth pyramid, reflects Egypt's ancient heritage while embracing modernity. GYM stands as a masterpiece of architecture and cultural symbolism, attracting worldwide attention and acclaim. Spanning over 500,000 square meters, the Grand Egyptian Museum houses more than 100,000 artifacts. Highlights include the monumental Grand Staircase dedicated to Tutankhamun's halls and an interactive children's museum. Its vast scale and thoughtfully designed spaces make GYM a premier destination for exploring Egypt's ancient civilization and engaging visitors of all ages. The Grand Egyptian Museum is expected to welcome 5 million visitors annually, significantly boosting Egypt's tourism sector and local economy. By attracting global travelers, GYM strengthens cultural tourism, creates jobs, and supports surrounding businesses, establishing itself as a key driver of economic growth while showcasing the nation's unparalleled archaeological heritage. The Grand Egyptian Museum's inauguration was supported by 14 major development projects, enhancing infrastructure around Giza. Upgraded roads, expanded traffic networks, and the new GYM metro station ensure smooth access for visitors. These improvements integrate the museum into the city, boosting transportation efficiency and supporting Egypt's growing tourism and cultural sectors. To celebrate the Grand Egyptian Museum's opening, Egypt issued 6 commemorative coins ranging from 1 to 100 Egyptian pound. These coins honor the nation's cultural heritage and the museum's significance, serving as collectible symbols of this historic milestone while promoting awareness of GYM's role in preserving and showcasing Egypt's ancient treasures. The Egyptian Grand Museum implements a comprehensive health and safety plan featuring a permanent medical clinic, mobile units, and rapid response team with 65 ambulances and a coordinated evacuation system. GYM ensures visitors' safety, emergency preparedness, and swift medical support, setting high standards for public health management at major cultural sites. The Grand Egyptian Museum has sparked global interest, generating social media buzz and international attention. World leaders have been invited to the inauguration, symbolically presented with golden sarcophagi as tokens of Egypt's heritage. GYM's open resonates worldwide, highlighting its cultural significance and fostering diplomatic and public engagements. The Grand Egyptian Museum represents Egypt's largest cultural event of the century, combining modern museum standards with world-class exhibitions. GYM sets a new benchmark for cultural preservation, showcasing ancient treasure while providing immersive experience, reinforcing Egypt's role as a global center for heritage, education, and international cultural exchange. The Grand Egyptian Museum stands as a transformative achievement for Egypt and the world, merging heritage, innovation, and education. Its scale, treasures, and global acclaim make it a beacon for cultural tourism, international collaboration, and preservation. GYM not only honors Egypt's past, but shapes its cultural legacy for generations to come.
Welcome to the Grand Egyptian Museum, where ancient history and modern wonder come together in a captivating blend of past, present, and future. A first of its kind, the gem will be the largest archaeological museum dedicated to a single civilization. Geometrically aligned with the timeless Great Pyramids, and a mere 2 kilometers from the Giza Plateau, the gem's strategic location provides a well-rounded experience encompassing culture, touristic sites, and recreation. The gem was designed with wonder in mind, a wonder of scale, architecture, culture, innovation, and history. Every detail of the building is deliberately progressive, sustainable, and breathtaking. The scale, dramatic roofs, avant-garde lighting systems, and decorative motifs give the Grand Egyptian Museum a dynamic and mesmerizing identity, unseen in other museums. The design is defined by a large stone translucent alabaster entrance, and the northern and southern walls and the middle section of the building are aligned with the pyramids of Khufu, Khafre, and Menkaure. The general design concept gives visitors layered experiences that unfold with every step. Upon entering the Grand Egyptian Museum, visitors are fascinated by the sight of the only hanging obelisk in the world, a unique feature that sets the tone for the awe-inspiring journey ahead. The grandeur continues as one steps into the majestic Grand Hall, where the colossal 80-ton statue of Ramses II stands as a testament to ancient Egyptian craftsmanship and power. Close ahead awaits the imposing grand staircase, spanning an impressive 6,000 square meters and rising to a height equivalent to 6 floors. Ascending the grand staircase, visitors pass by 59 impressive royal statues and artifacts. Upon reaching the top, they are rewarded with a breathtaking panoramic view of the iconic pyramids. Within the museum's expansive interior, 6 permanent galleries and 4 temporary exhibitions showcase thousands of ancient artifacts, including the complete collection of King Tutankhamun, meticulously reunited for the first time since its discovery. This unparalleled collection offers visitors a comprehensive glimpse into the splendor and grandeur of ancient Egyptian civilization. Beyond the museum's main building, visitors are invited to explore the Khufu's Boats Museum, where they can marvel at the ancient wonders that were believed to have sailed across the skies. History buffs and Egyptophiles alike can also delve into the state-of-the-art conservation center, offering a behind-the-scenes glimpse into the meticulous preservation of ancient artifacts. While the gem's focus extends beyond providing a modern abode for historical artifacts, it also thrives as a vibrant cultural complex, community hub, and knowledge center, bringing the community together through engaging events and a shared appreciation for innovation, creativity, and art, featuring exhibition spaces, conference facilities, educational suites, an augmented reality experience, auditoriums, co-working spaces, a cinema, a library, and extensive outdoor gardens. There's something to suit every taste. visitors can also drink and dine at one of the appetizing restaurants. Indulge in an exquisite dining experience overlooking the pyramids, or immerse themselves in the retail area that houses leading Egyptian brands filled with local treasures and crafts. This new wonder in the making uniquely combines the magic of the past, the vibrancy of the present, and the promise of the future.
More than 20 years in the making, what began as a dream has finally become reality. Today, the Grand Egyptian Museum, the gym, opens its doors to the world, where ancient history and the modern age come together in a captivating blend of past, present and future. As the largest archaeological museum in the world, the gym is the first of its kind. Its opening embodies the greatness of this culture landmark and highlights the significant progress and achievements made by Egypt across all sectors, showcasing its civilizational stature to the world. This is more than just a museum. It's the ultimate culmination of Egypt's history and culture. All eyes are on Cairo tonight to witness this historic event, a cultural landmark bridging millennia, where Egypt's timeless story continues to unfold. We're following the biggest story of the day. Stay with us as we take a closer look at the Grand Egyptian Museum opening and what it all means. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi will inaugurate the Grand Egyptian Museum today, marking a milestone in the history of global culture and civilization. A total of 79 official delegations, including 39 led by kings, princes, and heads of states and governments, will attend, all reflecting the world's deep appreciation for Egypt's heritage and enduring influence. According to presidential spokesperson Ambassador Mohammed El-Shenawi, attendees include royals from Belgium, Spain, Denmark, Jordan, Bahrain, Oman, the United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, Luxembourg, Monaco, Japan and Thailand, alongside presidents from Djibouti, Somalia, Palestine, Portugal, Armenia, Germany, Croatia and many others. Prime ministers from Greece, Hungary, Belgium, the Netherlands, Kuwait, Lebanon, Luxembourg and Uganda will also take part, with delegations from over 15 nations across Africa, Europe, Asia and the Americas. El-Shenawi affirmed that this unprecedented global representation highlights Egypt's vision, bridging heritage, creativity and the future, reaffirming its role as a civilizational crossroads and cultural beacon. And we begin with Dr. Magdi Sheker, a chief archaeologist at the Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities from Cairo. In our conversation, we explore the origins, the architecture, the collections, and the conservation ethos of this new institution. Now, Dr. Sheker, we welcome you here, and let me here start by asking, how does the opening of the Grand Egyptian Museum reflect Egypt's cultural renaissance and reinforce its role as both the guardian of ancient civilization and a growing source of diplomatic and cultural influence worldwide.
Today is a victorious day that should be added to the Egyptian victories. This is a feast that needs to be added to the new republic under His Excellency President Sisi. Today we are in front of the inauguration of the biggest cultural edifice in the world, an event that is not going to be repeated anymore. So it doesn't only have to do with archaeology or antiquities, but to showcase the modern Egypt in its ancient garments. Today we are showing the world the real Egyptian civilization that they used to see. This museum is not ordinary when it comes to collections or antiquities. This is the largest in size and in number of antiquities and the most renowned and the most rich, as it encompasses the best treasures of the world and the full collection of Tutankhamun. It also has a great view in front of the miracle of the ancient Egyptian people, that is the pyramids. This building or this heritage is there to be immortal, and our ancestors gave it to us. This is designed to remain for thousands of years. It also has an economic, tourist, and political dimensions. We want to show the world the new Egypt, and this is why it has a political dimension. It's going to be the best tourist attraction in the world, and it's going to change their oversight to the traditional Egyptian attractions, like those having to do with the sea and the beach. Specifically, that there is a grand project taking place now to requalify the region of Nizlat al-Samman for it to regain its cultural role, and there are going to be a road between the museum, Saqqara, and Dashur, and in a few days this country is going to be the best tourist attraction in the world. Now it has the gem with all antiquities and also the pyramids, the most ancient of all.
A real pride indeed. Gem is tied closely to national strategy and leadership. Now, how did the Egyptian leadership under the guidance of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi influence the final stages leading up to the museum opening?
Excellency President Sisi, he made Egypt regain its vibes. We knew that the establishment was halted for 8 years, but when President Sisi said it in all media outlets that this museum is going to be Egypt's gift to the world, and as a result, Egypt's gift needed to be of the same worth of our country. And I also commend the efforts of Mr. Atif Muftah, who worked on the ideas about the facade of the museum. He played a pivotal role in the organization and so on. As a result, the efforts exerted after His Excellency since 2017 until now, why it was finally brought to light. Their efforts are not only inside the museum, but also on the roads like Masr al-Fayoum Road and Alexandria Desert Road. All infrastructure was changed, the lighting and sound, and also the accessibility, after they provided flights from Sphinx politicians and artists. And as a result, the executive Administration played a pivotal role to make it the best cultural project in the 21st century, and it is unrivaled. It is a single museum that is the best, and we have also others for children and also for people with disability. There is a cultural hub, a conference center, and a number of gardens, and also some heritage palaces. So this hub is going to provide much income to our country, and all tourist companies expect this museum is going to be visited by millions of tourists at once, and Cairo in the upcoming years will be the best tourist attraction, and it's going to be attracted to the best capitals in Europe and the Arab world.
Now, the full Tutankhamun's collection is displayed together for the very first time. Why is this considered one of the big hits of the museum's opening?
There are 4 pieces that need to be recognized by the visitor. There are the most ancient part, the first one from 700,000 years ago for the first human being. And we have 2 statues covered by wood and other ornaments. The experts said that its age is 6,000 years, which means the difference between it and between the largest pyramid of Khufu is only 1,500 years. So this collection was known to be 1,300 pieces, and now we have 5,398 pieces. There is now the manifestations of light and sound. The lighting is well tailored to suit the statues. This collection is complete to King Tutankhamun, where his collection is unique. Not only the mask that is considered the icon, but also the golden coffin that is having many expensive ornaments, and also the sandals. In addition to his daughters, one of them was an embryo. Even before coming to birth, her body was preserved and kept. Our ancestors acknowledged the rights of women and human rights in general, and this is why they kept those embryos of King Tut. In addition to that, we have his gloves and the last meals eaten by him inside this tomb. Some of them was duck and goose and wine and so on. So this collection will mark more than 3,000 pieces that are brand new. I think the organic pieces are going to be the most important ones, because people need to believe that the Egyptian civilization is not only about statues and gold, but we have here preserved food, flowers, ducks, goose, and wine. Everything that's used by the last king is used, and they are going to use technologies as well that is not widely applied. This experience is going to linger in the mind of visitors. They are going to view this genius and not to forget it at all. Every piece of this museum is drawn from the ancient Egyptian civilization. So there is a petition to everyone coming to this museum. Those antiquities are not merely pieces, but you can see the building. You can see how it represents the 4th pyramid, and it is an extension from ancestors to descendants. We need to show you how we respected our ancestors, and finally they were viewed in a manner that is good for them. So I think if they were alive today, they would have said thank you, President Sisi and everyone, for paying this amount of money for us to get this unique experience. And as our ancestors said after building their ancients, they called them ancients of millions of years. So I reiterate, this place is created to be immortal. It is huge and it's going to remain like that. As the pyramid was a miracle, this museum in and of itself is going to be a miracle in the modern world.
Many thanks, Dr. Magdi Sheker, for sharing your insights and enriching our understanding of the Grand Egyptian Museum's remarkable journey and profound significance. Now, in the shadow of the Great Pyramids, a long-held dream is taking shape. The Grand Egyptian Museum reflects a bold vision to transform how the world experiences Egypt's ancient heritage. Two decades in the making and located near the Giza pyramids on the edge of Cairo, the long-awaited museum will display over 100,000 artifacts spanning 5,000 years of Egyptian civilization, including the complete collection of King Tutankhamun's treasures, displayed together for the first time in the history. After over 20 years of planning, construction and delays, the gym is set to transform how visitors experience ancient Egyptian history, with new tourist walkway that connects the gym to the pyramids of Giza, letting visitors stroll between the two landmarks. The museum combines the rich heritage of ancient Egyptian with innovative technologies, creating a unique harmony between the past and the future. It will not only serve as a storage of valuable artifacts, but also as a platform for intercultural dialogue, inspiring researchers, tourists, and history buffs from around the world. For more on the gym's opening story, we are joined by Ms. Suzanne Maher, an Egyptologist, tour guide, and cultural guru. So welcome to you, Ms. Suzanne. And let me here start by asking, as we saw earlier, the King Tut inspired invitation for the gym opening went viral. So as the design captured the spirit of the Egyptian civilization, could you tell us more about how it was conceived and crafted.
Inviting me for such a great event. The invitation was a magnificent blend of cultural diplomacy, of course, and art. It was designed as a commemorative piece directly inspired by the most iconic treasure of the museum, the golden sarcophagus of King Tutankhamun. And it was crafted entirely by skilled Egyptian artisans through Qnews Egypt replica treasure. And it's acting as a precious keepsake and a symbolic golden ticket at the same time.
If I may ask you, beyond the celebration itself, how can the Grand Egyptian Museum further boost Egypt's tourism sector on the global stage?
Well, I believe the gem is a game changer because it elevates Egypt beyond just a historical destination. It makes us a global cultural hub. We anticipate up to 7 million visitors annually to the gem area, helping us meet our goal of 30 million tourists by 2030. And this, of course, will boost our foreign currency earnings.
This opening is clearly a major act of cultural diplomacy. What impact do you anticipate the gem would have on global perceptions of Egypt, extending beyond its archaeological treasures to its modern identity?
I strongly believe this opening is a powerful statement of modern Egyptian capability. Beyond the treasures, the gem demonstrates that Egypt is fully capable of executing a billion-dollar world-class project of the highest international standards. This commitment, alongside the presence of global leaders today, reaffirms our position as a cultural leader and a partner for human heritage preservation. So it projects a perception of a stable, ambitious nation that honors its past while building a technological and cultural future. It's our greatest act of soft power.
The gem connects directly the pyramids via a new tourist walkway. Now, how will this integrated visitor experience change the way you plan and execute tours? And what is the single biggest benefit for the tourists?
Yes, the new tourist walkway is a transformation of the Giza experience. It connects the gem itself directly to the Giza plateau, allowing seamless passage, even using eco-friendly shuttles. We know about this from the government. For us as guides, it means we can finally offer a unified chronological tour, which is very important for us. The single biggest benefit for the tourist, I think, is clarity and comfort. No more chaotic transitions. Visitors can move effortlessly from learning the history in the museum to standing directly before the magnificent results of the history, the pyramids, creating an unforgettable experience.
The presence of global leaders and remarkable figures at the gym today. This underscores the importance of this very particular movement. Now, how does this international attention reflect the global significance of this milestone in Egypt's history?
In fact, it underscores that this is a world event, not just a regional one. It reflects the understanding that Egyptian civilization is a cornerstone of human civilization itself. This attention signifies global confidence in Egypt's leadership and its commitment to preserving this legacy. It transforms the opening from a national celebration into a global cultural milestone and a moment of shared human pride.
And if I may ask you here, how will that put Egypt on the cultural stage and stand worldwide?
Well, being the gem open today and all the presence of all these leaders are coming to witness such an event will put Egypt in the highest, I think the highest place among all cultural heritage around.
Mm-hmm. Now, the gym uses virtual and augmented reality technologies. How would these innovative tools help you as a guide enrich the storytelling experience and keep visitors engaged throughout the journey in the museum?
Yes, well, as a guide, I think that these technologies are revolutionary for us. Uh, they allow us to move beyond static displays. For example, using AR and MR, we can show visitors that an artifact looked like, or how the artifact looked like in its original context. Imagine pointing a device at a temple stone and seeing the colorful paint or a ritual ceremony brought to life. It helps us to enrich the storytelling by making the history more interactive and emotionally engaging, especially as I think for younger generations. It literally brings the past to life.
Lots and lots to be said, Mrs. Suzanne Meher, an Egyptologist, tour guide, and a cultural guru. We thank you so much for your valuable insights. And the Grand Egyptian Museum is poised to be a game changer for Egyptian tourism. Joining us from Cairo to discuss exactly how the gym will boost this vital sector is Mr. Mu'taz Sidqi, co-chair of the Travel and Tourism Committee at the American Chamber of Commerce in Egypt. We thank you so much for being with us. And let me hear, Mr. Mu'taz, ask you, how do you expect the new tourist walkway linking the museum and the pyramids to reshape the visitor experience?
Good morning. I wish everybody a very good day. Actually, it's a beautiful morning for Egypt, and it's absolutely magical. It is, as you know, for the first time visitors can walk through thousands of years of history. It's a complete journey from the three pyramids till the new Grand Egyptian Museum. It's a continuous journey from the Grand Egyptian Museum straight forward to the pyramids of Giza or backwards. It is not just a walkway, it is a bridge between eras. It is, we call it that, with every step connects modern Egypt to its eternal past.
Mm-hmm. The government expects up to 20,000 visitors daily. Now, how prepared is the tourism infrastructure for that scale?
Honestly speaking, Egypt has been getting ready for this moment for years now. Roads, hotels, smart ticketing systems, sustainable transport already in place in the Giza Plateau around the area. The whole area around the Great Egyptian Museum is becoming a full visitor experience city, an amazing one, ready and welcoming, designing to handle all the numbers. All of them will be very comfortable to reach the places, to see the shop, and it's going to be a remarkable experience of all time.
Right. If I may ask you here, what role do you think the private sector would have, or the private sector partnerships would have in sustaining this cultural hub?
That's a brilliant question, because it's a huge role indeed. The private sector brings creativity, innovation, continuous promotion. When we work hand in hand with the government, we can create unforgettable experiences. Special event, as you can see every day, there is a special event comes from internationally, bring a lot of visitors to watch it. Evening shows, family programs that keeps the museum alive every single day.
Mm-hmm. How will the gym contribute to promoting Egypt as a year-round destination beyond the traditional tourism?
Theoretically speaking, the museum should add a brand new layer of a tourism story. It's not just about history, it's about art, culture, technology, entertainment under one roof. This museum brings a way of technology that creates an experience to showcase all the rare pieces. And visitors also can now plan trips around cultural festivals, culinary weeks, and art events, making Egypt exciting all year round. So it's not about seasonal anymore, it's all year round.
Well, beyond Cairo, can GYM's success help revitalize other heritage sites across Egypt?
Definitely. I agree 100%. Gym sets a new benchmark. When tourists see this level of organization and beauty, they will definitely want to explore more. Going to Upper Egypt, Luxor, Aswan, Abu Simbel, Alexandria, Sinai, Siwa, it inspires investors and investment and pride across the entire country.
Now, how do you assess the international interests so far from travel agencies, airlines, and cultural institutions?
Honestly speaking, it's an added value to the product of Egypt. It is a way to sell and to invest in history in the very first time. It is opening door to more opportunities, encouraging tour operators to fly to increase the frequency of flights, especially to Sphinx Airport, which is very close by Giza. Giza is taking a sustainable stage this time. It's not about Cairo Governorate, it's all about Giza this time, combining a lot of attractions in one place.
Right. If I may ask you, how would that be an added value to the Egyptian economy?
Well, as you know, tourism, especially and travel industry, generate a lot of foreign currency into the Egyptian shops, people, hotels, resorts, merchandise, because we count on this generation of foreign currency from different nationalities coming either with charter flights. Also, we are expecting some MICE business, which is meetings and incentives and conferences coming in early the first quarter of 2026. All this will bring a lot of hot money or cash to the Egyptian government, and I guess people will have more jobs and will do a lot of good income, and you will see the revenues next year, I think, increasing by at least 20 to 30%.
Right, finally here, what message does the Grand Egyptian Museum send to the world about Egypt today?
Honestly, the message could say, "Welcome to New Egypt. Proud of its roots, confident in its future." The Grand Egyptian Museum is more than a building. It's an Egypt love letter to humanity, inviting everyone to come, feel, and celebrate civilization that still beats with life today.
Right. Mr. Mu'taz Sidqi, co-chair of the Travel and Tourism Committee at the American Chamber of Commerce in Egypt, thank you so much for joining us here. And Egypt's ambassador in London says the Grand Egyptian Museum will elevate Egypt's global cultural standing and boost British tourism as the UK hosts a reception at the British Museum and prepares for a ministerial visit. Ambassador Ashraf Swalem said the Grand Egyptian Museum offers a historic showcase led by the full Tutankhamun collection, expected to draw strong interest from the UK and beyond. Britain is currently Egypt's fifth largest tourism source, with close to 1 million British visitors last year, according to Egypt's tourism ministry. London will host an official reception at the British Museum, marking the opening, featuring exclusive footage from Cairo. He added that Egypt's tourism minister will travel to London for the world's largest travel fair to further promote the museum and expand arrivals. And Egypt's ambassador to Italy, Bassem Radi, has described the Grand Egyptian Museum, the gym inauguration, as an unprecedented global event. He called the museum a cultural, scientific, historical, and archaeological icon, offering Egypt's heritage as a gift to humanity after nearly 2 decades of work. Radi highlighted Gym's unique civilizational value and its growing European interest, particularly in Italy. He noted that the museum embodies values of prosperity, cooperation, and peace, and praised it as a renewed civilizational message, showcasing Egypt's cultural and touristic stature to the world. The Grand Egyptian Museum is now the region's first green museum, running primarily on solar power from multiple on-site stations. Egypt's Industrial Modernization Center says the gym's solar network includes a wall station, 206 kilowatts the e-gas station, 277 kilowatts, and 2 garage, number 8 arrays, 301 kilowatt and 531 kilowatt. Together, they generate about 2.24 gigawatt hours of electricity annually, supplying the museum's primary power, lowering costs and cutting carbon emissions. Officials say the move positions the landmark as a model for sustainable cultural institutions across Africa and the Middle East. The Grand Egyptian Museum, the gym inauguration on the Giza Plateau, is being broadcast live across the globe, bringing Egypt's history and culture directly to international audiences. Public screening and official live streams are taking place at Doha's Qatar Cultural Village, the Egyptian Embassy in London, the University of South Africa in Johannesburg, and museums in Frankfurt, Ann Arbor, San Francisco, and Baltimore. These broadcasts offer a unique chance to witness the ceremony in real time, celebrating Egypt's cultural heritage on a global stage. We're still following the biggest story of the day. Let's take a much closer look inside the Grand Egyptian Museum. So we're joined from the gym by Al Qahira News correspondent Marina Al Masri. Marina.
500,000 meters squares, and it showcases more than 100,000 antiquities from Egypt's ancient civilization that are under one ceiling. But of course, here our star is King Tutankhamun. We have around 5,000 golden artifacts showcased for the first time ever since his tomb was discovered by the character. And of course, you are welcomed once you are in the museum by the colossal statue of Ramses II, where the first truth was ever written. And behind the scenes, Egyptian hands are working in the largest restoration lab in the Middle East that has more than 20 advanced labs where we use laser and X-ray to protect our precious artifacts. And around 50,000 artifacts were transported and around 50,000 others were restored. And this brings back these artifacts to life. And then we have around 12 galleries and take us to a trip down history. Every artifact in every gallery tell a story from the prehistoric era up to the Romanian era, and they were showing engineering genius here, as we can see them from behind the glass in a breathtaking scene. And of course, we will have more details today as we go today. The awaited inauguration of the Grand Egyptian Museum. It is considered the largest project in the century that combined between the genius of the place and of course it reflects Egypt's civilization as the largest museum dedicated for a single civilization. We are talking about long years of effort and hard work, and the official inauguration comes in just a few hours. That shows that Egypt has a cultural willingness that is parallel to its political and humanitarian will. Now we go to more details. Now to you, Lotfi, and we also have Farouz Miki from one of the important corridors in the museums. First, we are talking about we're talking about the media and the press, and of course they will have, they're international, and so they will reflect on economy and investment, because this coverage has started since the early morning, and not just about the ceremony but even about the organization. So how is the media looking? Do you have any idea about the people that are arrived so far? Marina, now it is Egypt's gift to the world, the most important project in the century. A lot of newspapers have talked today and throughout the previous days. Everyone is waiting for what the ceremony will unfold and what surprises we are going to see that have to do with Egypt's ancient civilization. Today I am here in the museum. Everyone is waiting for the press conference, and the press conference is supposed to be at around 3 p.m. Cairo time, and of course lots of questions will be answered there. All the questions that the anchors and correspondents have. What are the artifacts that will be showcased for the first time, of example, and they want to know how it will affect Egypt's economy and Egypt's civilization here. And so, yeah, the press conference will be answering lots of questions. And of course, after this press conference is over, we'll be awaiting the opening of the Grand Egyptian Museum. But since you asked about the international media, of course, the Grand Egyptian Museum has been the focus of international newspapers and even national ones too, of course. International newspapers have said that this museum is Egypt's gift to the world and that it will have large economic revenues to the Egyptian country, and it will boost its economy, of course, in the upcoming period, and it is expected to attract around 5 million visitors annually. During the trial opening, the museum has attracted around 800,000 visitors from around the world, and 20,000 visitors a day. And so, yeah, the museum can sorry for interrupting, but Fayrouz Meki now from the corridor, Cairo News correspondent. Fayrouz, can you tell us the details that you have? Yes, Marina, thank you. I'm standing here in this corridor, and also with me is Dr. Isa Zidane, the president of the restoration lab, and he will unveil lots of exclusive here for Cairo News. Here we have an eventful day. We had lots of restored artifacts. So what will be the artifacts that will be first showcased? Of course, hello. Yes, we have around 57,000 artifacts that were restored, and one of the most important among them is the Tutankhamun collection that will be showcased for the first time, and of course also a baby that is around 7 months and around is 5 months, and then we will also have an amazing collection of plaques that are made of leather, and also the green pendant, and of course the sarcophagus that was moved from his tomb in Luxor and will be showcased for the first time here. Yeah, the Tutankhamun sarcophagus. Yeah, it was in the tomb and was and they discovered it years ago, and in coordination we were with authorities, we were able to get it out and will be showcased today beside the Tutankhamun coffins, the golden coffin and the one with the leaves. And so this is very rare, and also we have the funerary mask that is very rare here. This would be a very special collection, showcasing. We have the multimedia, the graphics, we have lots of technologies there also. And Dr. Aisha, there were also talks that it is known that that Khufu's first boat was transported, and that the second one will be here too. Yeah, this is true 100%. The first one was moved from Al Haram, and it was an international event, and it was actually very, very challenging, but thank God we pulled it off. And for the first time, this is a first ever experience. You will see coffee boats, and you will see the restoration lab where they are restoring the second boat, and which will take around 3 to 4 years. And also this is the first time I'm saying this. The second boat is very different from the first boat. In the first, we only have around 12 and there is also nickels in the second boat, and so this will be a rare and unique experience. I'm sorry we were running out of time, and thank you, Dr. Aisa. It was my pleasure. And so yeah, as Dr. Aisa then has mentioned, we have lots and lots of surprises that will be unveiled and will be showcased for the first time ever in the largest museum for one single civilization, the Egyptian civilization. Back to you, Marina. Thank you, Fairuz. Lots of surprises are awaiting us. You know how many treasures we have there, and also the surprises about the ceremony itself. We have a marvelous ceremony just in a few hours, and we will have more details on. We will see the final preparations and the economic side. We're joined from Cairo, Dr. Mustafa Khalil, the tourist expert. But maybe before this, we will go to Sphinx Airport to know just more details. We have Ayman Ahmad, my colleague. Are you here? Yes, Marina, if you hear me. Hello, Ayman, and also from Cairo International Airport, we have our correspondent, Abdelmonaim Ibrahim. Let's talk about the preparations when it comes to the airports. The Sphinx Airport that was adorned, and every little detail in the airport was adorned with things that have to do with the Grand Egyptian Museum. And of course there is coordination and hard work and readiness when it comes to all the details. So now to you. Yeah, of course, this preparation shows that we are very ready, and the aviation ministry has been getting ready for this throughout the previous days, so that they are fully ready to welcome the leaders, kings, and the official delegations that are expected to arrive in the upcoming days to be a part of the Grand Egyptian Museum opening that is around 40 kilometers from here. And so yeah, maybe the Grand Egyptian Museum is the Sphinx International Airport is the closest to the museum, because the visitors will take around 30 minutes from here to the Grand Egyptian Museum gates. And this was done by the Egyptian authorities lately, so that we are ready for the opening. And of course there are huge preparations, and we have preparations to make sure that visually the airport is ready. And also we have some signs that have pictures of the ancient Egyptians, the kings and the queens, and also there are statues. We're talking about large numbers of delegations. Do we have any details about the delegations that have arrived so far? Not yet, but they are expected to start showing up in the upcoming few hours. And the Sphinx International Airport is very ready to welcome the kings and presidents. But go ahead. Just earlier there was a visit from the Minister of Aviation that came here to make sure that everything is prepared to welcome the guests, and to make sure that the workers are also ready in the Sphinx International Airport, so that they can facilitate the welcoming process. Of course, yeah, everyone is ready now, but now we go to the Cairo International Airport where we can see the delegations. Hello, Marina. As my colleague Ayman Ahmad was saying, from Sphinx International Airport, and it is one of the destinations that was dedicated to welcome our guests coming in delegations to take part in this grand ceremony, the opening of the Grand Egyptian Museum, Egypt's gift to the world. And it is considered the largest museum in the world dedicated to a single civilization. I'm here in Cairo International Airport that has welcomed over the past 2 days, and even earlier today, Mustafa Madbouli has welcomed his counterpart, his Lebanese counterpart, and they left the Cairo International Airport on their way to the Grand Egyptian Museum. So here we are very ready to welcome the guests. We're talking about more than 60 delegations, and of them are 39 kings, leaders, and emirs that will take part in the ceremony that will be held today at 7 p.m. and will be Egypt's gift to the world, this Grand Egyptian Museum. And if we talk more or elaborate more about the preparations, Cairo International Airport is one of the 2 destinations that was dedicated to welcome the guests, and they have tightened security measures in all the halls and the corridors, everything. And even here in this hall where I'm standing, and even on my right is the presidential hall that we have seen during this moment. We have seen a delegation from the United Arab Emirates, and also the president of the UAE is supposed to be coming up. And if we elaborate more on the preparations, here we have screens to broadcast the ceremony at 7 p.m. And so right now these screens show some reports and documentaries about the Grand Egyptian Museum. And of course here we have screens in all Egypt streets. There are preparations, and everyone is celebrating this grand event. Of course, it is a cultural, economic project. Thank you, our correspondents from different areas. Of course, we will keep up with our coverage. And now back to you, Dina.
Right, that was Marine Al-Masri live there from the Grand Egyptian Museum, and that was a coverage for Al Qahira News correspondents showing you the latest scenes from the magnificent gym. That concludes our special coverage for this hour. Stay tuned as we dive deep into the Grand Egyptian Museum's opening, celebrating Egypt's gift to the whole world.